everyone and welcome back. So following on from our pre-general election video, the votes have been counted and we now know that Sir Keir Starmer is the new Prime Minister, leading a Labour government for the first time since 2010. We're going to quickly address how a Labour government will shape housing policy, specifically in the private rented sector.
We're recording this on Monday the 8th of July. You wouldn't believe it with Matt being in the jumper and everything like that, but it is the classic British weather. The new government appointments have now been made, and Angela Rayner is now Deputy Prime Minister and Secretary for Levelling Up, which includes housing under her portfolio. Matthew Pennycook will be the Housing Minister. Pennycook has been Shadow Minister for Housing and Planning since 2021 and was involved in submitting amendments to the now canned Renters Reform Bill, so he'll be aware of some of the framework that was previously submitted and some of the ideas discussed. Rayner has been a known critic of the Section 21, so having someone high up in the government with this responsibility means that she will want to keep an eye on what's happening with developments of that, though she has previously acknowledged that the court system needs fixing first before anything can happen. So it's also worth noting that there's been a shift in some of the language from no-fault evictions to no explanation repossessions.
It's a lot softer.
It's a lot softer. I actually think it probably reflects it far better, because eviction has always sounded really harsh, hasn't it? When, that is the reality of what might happen, but
just a couple of steps ahead.
Exactly, yeah. So there is plans for that. We've known about that for a long time, and it kind of will obviously fall into the reshaping process.
So other aspects for landlords to think about. In their manifesto, Labour said that they wanted to bring in a binding decent home standard, which will likely include extending AWAB's law to the private rented sector, which will require private landlords to act to eradicate mould and household hazards within a strict time frame. I think that's something which most landlords do anyway.
Yes.
But obviously this will be looking to put in a more rigid framework to hold maybe landlords that don't to more account.
Yeah, exactly. Offer more protection for tenants, I guess with it.
Exactly. The second one is introduce a warm homes plan and create minimum energy efficiency standards by 2030. No surprise there.
No.
Obviously, they're going to need to show that they are committed to climate reform and climate change, and how this will be implemented will be key. They want to empower tenants to challenge unreasonable rent increases and ban bidding wars for tenants.
Yeah, so that's interesting, because I think that bidding wars and tenants, there's talk about banning that, but I don't know how often that's actually encouraged. And if a tenant approached a landlord or an agent and offered to pay more, I don't think that would be included within that. But
we'll wait to see.
We'll wait to see. The other thing, that based on all those things, it does seem that Labour want to encourage tenancies to last longer. So although we discussed pre-election, that some of the parties' plans were to offer longer-term tenancies, it does seem that they want to encourage longer, more secure tenancies. So, make of that what you will.
We shall see.
Labour have also committed, this is sort of more generally speaking now, committed to plans to reform the house planning system in order to build and target building more homes in local authorities, local areas. That's involving a lot of changes to brown belt, green belt and grey belt.
Karate belt, all the belts.
So things that have got potential to be developed that may not be appropriately assigned as green belt, that kind of stuff. That's been raised today by the new Chancellor Rachel Reeves, and generally I think it's been welcomed by the industry. But as with anything, any reforms will involve training and of new planners, and is likely to take time to fix. So it's not a quick, here you go, off we go, let's start building some houses. I think it's going to take a bit of time to actually bed it all in. But if that work's starting now, then at least they give themselves time to do that, I suppose. They will also replace new build leasehold properties with as common hold, as opposed to like a lease that a freeholder might have hold of or whatever. So that is another significant change, which I'm sure we'll cover at some point later on.
And as with all these things, they take time, as James has said, so there is no official timetable of events. But Labour did previously commit to commissioning a white paper on the PRS within 100 days in office. Stakeholders in the industry such as the NRLA, which is the National Residential Landlords Association, and Property Mark, who represent agents within the PRS, will, I'm sure, already be consulting with the government to put forward views and ideas in what is needed to help improve and modernise the sector.
The next key date to watch out for will be the King's speech and the state opening of Parliament. That is due to take place on the 17th of July. This is when we'll find out about the key legislative priorities for the coming year. So that will be a chance where we will see how soon some of these things that have been spoken about will actually come in. That'll be interesting. And then after that, there's the summer recess, the conference season. So there'll be lots of chances for people to talk, build up these ideas before going into the end of year, where they'll probably try and get some things done. But the likelihood is we probably won't see anything really become apparent until towards the end of the year, even if plans and things and stuff are discussed.
There'll be a lot of loose kind of headline announcements, and the devil in the detail will be hammering out later, I'm sure.
But so this was just a quick update from us, just to sort of let you know what we have seen within the industry, and give you hopefully some reassurance that things aren't going to happen straight away, but give you some ideas that you can start planning towards, and understand that there is going to be some significant change that does go on now. Now there's been a change of government. I think most of it is stuff we've been expecting or would have been going on anyway. And I think generally speaking, actually, probably a lot we don't hear about, but there's consensus generally on a lot of these things across the board.
There was before anyway.
Exactly, and a lot of these ideas have been recycled, rehashed, repackaged maybe, but it is building on what had been discussed in the previous 5-10 years, whatever. It's not really a surprise, is it?
No, and we'll stick to our normal motto: when we know, you'll know.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.